I'm Justin, and the purpose of this video is to show how you can start generating leads using the automated REI and the Craigslist scraper tool. You can see I'm logged in here at the automated REI dashboard. Over to the left, there's a vertical menu. I can slide up and down. This time I'm going to slide down to the Craigslist scraping tab, and I'm going to select that. That pulls up the Craigslist scraping form where I can start building a campaign for scraping Craigslist. The first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to name it. I'm going to probably consider using today's date so that I can remember what day and what scrape I was working on. So for this example, I'm going to call it 09.15.2020 Kansas City and call it that. Okay. Now, request type, the second question. It is already selected default scraping. So let's continue and I'll show you how to use the default scraping options to scrape Craigslist to get exactly what you're looking for. And then we'll come back and I'll show you a second method for scraping Craigslist that uses the submit Craigslist URL manually option. But first, let's use the default scraping. The next scraping option here is for what category in Craigslist I want to scrape. Now, for this exact example here, I'm going to use real estate for sale by owner. I could use apartments and housing for rent if I were looking for rent properties, but I'm not looking for rent properties today. I could use real estate by broker if I wanted to use find properties that were listed with a realtor or a broker. But today, for this example, I want to show you using real estate for sale by owner. So let's click that. Now it's going to ask me for my state. So I'm going to slide down the vertical menu here and I'm going to select Missouri. Select the city. Now it's going to pull up options inside Missouri. Kansas City is the Craigslist market that I want to go to inside Missouri. So I'm going to select Kansas City. That also matches our design here for campaign name. So now we have Kansas City 09.15/2020 scrape for real estate by owner homes in the state of Missouri and more particularly in Kansas City. Now I'm going to slide down and I'm going to select a date and time that's more appropriate for me. So let's choose tomorrow at about this time, and that's when the scrape will begin. Now you can see I can go ahead and check data count or create the campaign, but what I'd like to do is go ahead and select the filter box. When I select the filter box, this pop-up menu comes on screen and it offers me many more filters. The first filter it offers me is the housing. So that is the category of Craigslist that I want to be in. So I think we're okay there. The next option is housing type. I can choose apartment, condo, cottage, cabin, duplex, a flat, house, in-law, suite, loft, townhouse, manufactured home, assisted living, or land. I think I'll just choose house for this example. The third option is parking. If I want off-street parking, a detached garage, no parking is okay. These are options I can select. More. Search titles only. That means don't search the descriptions, just look through the titles. Any property has to have a picture if you select this box. Select this box if you want Craigslist ads that were posted only today. You can bundle duplicates. You can check if you want furnished properties. You can also check if you want no smoking properties or properties that have wheelchair access. You can also slide down a little bit and you can choose distance from a certain zip code. You can set a minimum and maximum price range. You can do a minimum and maximum bedrooms, bathrooms, square feet, and when the property will be available for a new tenant to move in. You can also select to look for any properties that have open houses. Now, once you're done, you'll want to click the submit button. Once I've completed all the filter selections that I like, I'm going to now check the data count. Okay, it's finished thinking, and it has pulled up 726 scrapes, which will cost me a grand total of $36.30. If I want to go ahead and proceed with this, I'll just simply click the proceed button. Once I've done that, I'll need to finish creating the campaign by clicking the large green button, Create Campaign. After I've done that, if I slide over on the vertical menu down to the Scraping History tab and select that, it will show as number 1 right here, scheduled, not completed until it is completed, but it will show scheduled, and then it will run at the time and date that I told it to run. Now, let's go back to the Craigslist scraping tab, and I'll show you a second method for scraping Craigslist and getting much more specific. Let's go ahead and name this campaign, again, today's date. And let's do Kansas City, Missouri. Now, remember, for the second option for scraping Craigslist, you'll want to select the request type, Submit Craigslist URL manually. Now that we've done that, it's asking us to paste a URL here. Well, we don't have one yet, so let's go to Craigslist. You can see I'm on Craigslist now, and I'm in the Kansas City, Missouri Craigslist because that's where I want to do my scraping today. So once I'm on Craigslist in the market that I want to be in, I'm going to find the housing section. And once I find the housing section, I'm going to go ahead and select real estate for sale. I could select apartments and housing for rent if I'm looking for rental properties, but today I'm looking for sale by owners. So I'm going to select real estate for sale. Now up here at the top, there are 3 drop-down menus. One says Kansas City, the second says housing, and the third says real estate for sale. I can select this one and it'll drop down more options for me. Now I can select real estate for sale by owner, not just real estate for sale, which would include both by owner, by agent, by broker, and by anyone else. Real estate by owner and specific. Now I can get very, very, very specific here. And let me show you a gold nugget. And these are the kind of tips that we talk about in the business plan of the automated REI, where you receive 6 live Q&A sessions each week. You can access those and ask these kind of questions, and we share these kind of tips. But I'm going to show you a secret ninja tip for working with Craigslist and the automated REI Craigslist scraper. First of all, I want to refine my list down to something very specific so that I know that I'm not wasting any time, any money, and I'm reaching the exact people that I want to reach. Right now, I'm looking at real estate by owner. These are properties that are for sale by the owner. Now, there are 726 that it has pulled up. Let's get more specific. I can hit the minus button and type in realtor. What this will do is this will remove any listings that include the word realtor. I can minus and then say management. This will remove any listings that have the phrase management or property management company. I can hit the minus button and I can subtract any listings that include the word realty. I can, even though these are for sale by owners, right? It's a gold nugget tip. I can hit the minus button and I can remove any properties that have, what's another good one? Agent. Okay. Let's say there's something that I want it to include, not exclude. So far, we're excluding realtor, property management, realty, agents. Let's also exclude manager, but let's try including. It must include fixer-upper. Okay. Now, if I hit the search button, it will pull up listings that do not, that are for sale by owner, that do not include the words realtor, management, realty, agent, or manager, and they also must include the words fixer-upper. Now I'll hit search. There are 44 listings on Kansas City, Missouri Craigslist for properties that fit this exact criteria. If this is the list that I'm looking for, I'm going to go to the browser address bar, highlight that. I'm going to right click and copy the domain. It's really, really long and ugly. But as soon as I have it copied, I'm going to go back to the automated REI and I'm going to paste it right here. You can do that by right clicking and then selecting paste, or use Control V. Now, once I've done that, I can click the blue button, check data count, and you can see it says there's 44 listings that it scraped off of that domain for a $1.32 charge. Now, if I go back to the Craigslist, you can see there is 44. So it has scraped this exact page of this exact list of these properties for sale by owner. Once I've done that, I can click proceed. Once I click proceed, it will create down here these words. Now you can create campaign. In order to make my campaign start, I need to click the big green button, create campaign. Let's do that now. Now it pops up here. It says campaign created successfully. Please check in campaign history. So if I slide on the left down to the scraping history and I select that, it will pull up right here, number 1, Kansas City, Missouri Craigslist, the time and day that we ran that, and it'll say scheduled until the scraping is completed, and then it will say completed. That is how you use the automated REI to create leads using the Craigslist scraper tool in 2 different methods. Now, the next video, we will talk about sending an SMS blast to those scraped leads off of Craigslist using the Start SMS button, which will become available to us as soon as this scraping is complete.